Of graffiti coming up next.
This is KNDO. More local news more often.
From the KNDO studios, all your nonstop news, your accurate fast alert weather and sports headlines, all in the first 11 minutes. Live from the KNDO night team. This is KNDO Local News 11 at 11.
The investigation continues over abuse at the Abu Ghraib prison. New evidence released shows there may have been abuse during the interrogation process. Plus, new information tonight on the death of foster child Rafael Gomez. His biological mother has been charged with first-degree manslaughter. And United Way of Yakima hosts its annual dinner as part of their year in review. We'll tell you what happened. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sunny Jenkins. Thanks for joining us. Here's what's happening tonight. The investigation and the controversy over American abuse of Iraqi prisoners continues. And earlier today, Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld personally toured the Abu Ghraib prison on a surprise visit to Baghdad. Jim Miklaszewski reports on a newly released photo that appears to link U.S. military intelligence to some of the controversial behavior at that prison.
This newly released photo, obtained exclusively by NBC News, appears to be the first hard evidence of prisoner abuse actually being used as an interrogation technique at Abu Ghraib prison. It was provided by the attorney for Corporal Charles Grainer, a military guard who faces court-martial. In the photo, which the attorney claims was taken during an interrogation, several naked Iraqi prisoners are in a heap on the floor. Grainer is seen leaning against the wall. Grainer identifies 4 other soldiers as military intelligence officers in charge of interrogations and a civilian translator. The photo emerged as serious questions have been raised about the Pentagon's own rules for interrogations and whether they violate the Geneva Convention. The Pentagon guidelines permit sleep and sensory deprivation for 72 hours and prisoners forced to hold stressed positions for 45 minutes. At the Senate Armed Services Committee today, Deputy Defense Secretary Paul Wolfowitz was grilled over the rules.
The bag over your head for 72 hours? Is that humane?
Let me come back to what you said, the work of the department.
No, answer the question, Secretary.
I believe it's not
sensory
humane.
deprivation.
Strikes me as not humane, Senator.
Thank you.
But the Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Peter Pace, went a step further, saying the measures do violate the Geneva Convention.
I would describe it as a violation, sir.
But on the plane to Iraq today, Defense Secretary Rumsfeld said Pentagon lawyers approved the techniques and claimed the Geneva Convention is open to interpretation by each nation.
I think that everyone has to make those judgments themselves, because if you think about it, Geneva doesn't say what you do when you get up in the morning.
But the Geneva Convention specifically states that during interrogations, prisoners may not be threatened, insulted, or exposed to any unpleasant treatment of any kind. Human rights experts accuse the Pentagon of operating under its own rules.
I think the civilian leadership in the Pentagon is trying to twist the law to fit what they are doing, rather than changing what they are doing in order to fit the law.
And tonight, a ranking military intelligence officer tells NBC News he fears the Pentagon has taken the aggressive interrogation tactics too far. Jim Miklaszewski, NBC News, the Pentagon.
In the meantime, over half of Washington State's National Guard is deployed around the world, raising concerns that we don't have enough guardsmen if there is an emergency right here at home. Many of the guardsmen come from the 81st Brigade, which is especially equipped for deployment overseas. And it's one of 15 such brigades in the country. Now, the video you're looking at right now is of the Army Reserves in Kuwait. Over 4,000 guardsmen remain in Washington State, and officials here in Washington say that's plenty to handle if an emergency were to happen.
We still think we have adequate numbers of National Guard soldiers and airmen to support local emergency response.
Governor Gary Locke says there are plenty of guardsmen left too, but their response time could be slower because of smaller numbers. And new information tonight on the death of an afraid foster child. The biological mother has now been charged with manslaughter in the death of Rafael Gomez. 2-year-old Rafi, as you can see him right here, was in and out of foster care before the state returned him to his birth parents last spring. Investigators found Rafi died of blunt force trauma to his head while in the care of his birth mother, Maribel Gomez, that lady right there. His death later ruled as a homicide. Several folks are honored tonight for their commitment in helping out others. United Way of Yakima hosted tonight's dinner and awards event at the Yakima Country Club. And the music group right there, Los Romanticos, kept all the guests entertained during dinner. Seems like they liked it. Tonight's event is part of United Way's Year in Review. Several local people were handed out awards for their contributions to the community. Around the Northwest tonight, one person was injured in a two-alarm fire at a wrecking yard in Maple Valley. That's on the west side of the state. The fire started around noon this afternoon, and witnesses say flames were shooting 25 feet into the air. Smoke could be seen for miles, as you could see there. Firefighters say they heard several explosions, likely from fuel tanks bursting. The owner of the wrecking yard says a cutting torch may have ignited some gasoline. And across America tonight, a town in Pennsylvania is hit hard after its only grocery store goes up in flames. There's some smoke for you. Fire broke out early this afternoon. At least 8 companies came to the rescue and worked throughout the afternoon to try and contain that. There were no reports of any injuries there. Lifeguards in Florida are warning people to be careful in the water or even stay out of the ocean altogether because of deadly riptides. At least 2 people have drowned just this week. Windy weather in the area is responsible for those riptides that force swimmers away from the shore and then under the water. Heavy rains, damaging winds, and at least 2 funnel clouds have caused all sorts of problems for homeowners in Texas. Look at that home. Severe storms uprooted trees, snapped power lines, badly damaged some homes. A spokesman for the city of Bryan says 1 to 7 inches of rain has been reported in that area, and the Red Cross is now setting up emergency shelters. Around the world tonight, South Korea's Constitutional Court is overturning Parliament's vote to impeach the country's president. The president had been in political limbo since Parliament voted to impeach him. He was accused of breaking an election law, economic mismanagement, and corruption among aides. Now, the president could return to work after 2 months spent in self-imposed isolation. A health alert for you tonight. The maker of children's Motrin and Tylenol gel tabs says the 2 drugs were mistakenly swapped during packaging. Now, some packages of grape-flavored children's Motrin contain adult doses of 8-hour Tylenol gel tabs. Mislabeled packages are marked with the lot number JAM108, and they expire in January of 2006. So far, only 2 mislabeled packages have turned up. And more local news for you tonight. The man rescued, that is, from a burning home yesterday has been upgraded to serious condition tonight. Firefighters say they're still looking for the cause of the fire that broke out on a house on South 4th Street. 2 people passing by tried to rescue Willie Cox from that home, but they were overcome by smoke as well. Cox was airlifted to Virginia Mason Medical Center in Seattle, where he is in serious condition tonight. And the state Supreme Court heard arguments in an unusual case involving a Spokane TV news station at YVCC today. Now, the court has to decide whether a person can sue for defamation, not because of what was said, but for what was not said. The case involves a 1998 news report by KXLY in Spokane. Businessman says the station made him look like a bully after he kicked a disabled man out of his store. And that man says the station left out death threats made against him by that disabled man. 2 other cases were heard by the Supreme Court in Yakima today as part of its effort to bring the court's actions closer to the public. And the first tests of farm workers who handle pesticides indicate nearly 1 in 4 may have been overexposed to hazardous chemicals. Scientists at a state health department laboratory conducted blood tests for exposure to certain nerve poisons, and the first findings cover 345 of the more than 2,600 workers who mix, spray, or handle pesticides. The testing began this year under a state Supreme Court ruling in a lawsuit brought on by farm workers. The 2004, that is, Selah Community Days, it kicks off today. Saturday's annual parade is going to feature Jenny Lynn Agunda from the Agunda family of Selah. And for the last year, Jenny Lynn's family has been fighting a deportation order from the federal government, just recently won an 18-month stay. Jenny Lynn says the best thing was learning that she could be in the pageant because her family gets to stay in the country now. And the Agundas were ordered back to the Philippines by a federal deportation order, but local, state, and federal officials all lobbied on behalf of this family. Jenny Lynn says her mother Judy is now doing much better. Her tumor has shrunk. If you would like to catch that grand parade in Selah, it starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday in downtown Selah. Selah Community Days is going to continue all the way through Sunday, and there will be plenty of free activities, food, arts, crafts, entertainment. Also, night fireworks at Wixon Park on Saturday. For more information, you can contact Jerry Henry at that number at the bottom of your screen, 961-4270.
Saturday will be a pretty good day for a parade, not only in Selah or anywhere you want to have a parade, because we're going to have some very warm temperatures. The same thing on Friday. We're probably going to have more sunshine Friday than Saturday, though. Another storm will be inching closer from the Pacific Ocean. As you can see, we had some more clouds moving over our heads tonight. Even a few showers, a few raindrops fell in the Kittitas Valley, but that will be diminishing overnight. We're going to have a few lingering clouds. It'll be cool, but not as chilly as this morning. Lows in the lower 40s. Tomorrow, 75 degrees for a high in Yakima with a mostly sunny day, but increasing clouds as the weekend approaches. I'll tell you what that's going to mean for us coming up in just a few minutes. Now, here's your leadoff sports with Derek Deis.
Thanks, Jason. Since we all know the Mariners suck, let's talk about a team that's actually good. The East Valley Boys soccer squad was trying to stay undefeated on the season and advance to the district championship game with the win over Wahluke tonight. No score in the 27th minute until off the free kick, Jordan Trout drills one in the upper right corner, and that's why they call this the beautiful game. Trout and the Red Devils get the Warriors hook, line, and sinker in a 2-0 victory. They'll face Connell on Saturday. Now be sure to stick around. I'll be back with more on the Mariners' woes and a thriller between the Lakers and the Spurs later in sports. Sonny?
Thanks a lot, Derek. It is a growing problem, and you can find it almost anywhere in Yakima, and that's graffiti. Coming up next, we'll take an in-depth look at a new plan to fight graffiti that involves prison inmates. Now, here's a stock market report for today, May 13th. The Dow fell 34 points, the NASDAQ was up less than a point, and the S&P was down less than a point as well. That wraps up 11 minutes of nonstop news, weather, and sports at 11 o'clock. This is KNDO Local News, 11 at 11.
Closed caption of KNDO Local News is brought to you by KNDO.com.
This month, KNDO Local News talks with you about what issues are important in our community.
I'd like to see something happen with the downtown area, something positive. You know, you don't really have a whole lot of reasons to go downtown.
Coming in, they look and it's like all-American city, where? Downtown is not happening.
Come off the intersection on the highway and come downtown and see businesses boarded up. I think this is not the image we want to portray.
Tomorrow on KNDO Local News at 6.
The tiny Greek village of Kalamata boasts the finest olives and pepperoncinis grown on sun-drenched hillsides with knowledge passed down through generations. If you journey here to sample these delicacies, too bad, because Jack has bought every single olive and pepperoncini he could for his new Greek salad. Jack's latest meal-sized salad with traditional feta cheese, crisp greens, imported Kalamata olives, and pepperoncinis.
Try Jack's new Greek salad, one of 4 salads made fresh daily.
It's time to turn it up. Announcing the Lincoln Mercury SUV Drive-Away with just announced savings on all our luxury SUVs. The bold Lincoln Navigator, the midsize Lincoln Aviator, and the versatile Mercury Mountaineer with available no-charge leather seating surfaces. Save on the 2004 Mercury Mountaineer starting at only $25,995 during the SUV Drive-Away. See your Pacific Northwest Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
Top Food and Drug asks, exactly what would it take for you to switch grocery stores? Oh, we could show you beautiful produce bouncing through cascading water. We could show you fresh, just-caught seafood chilling on ice. But besides all that, we think what might really interest you is a look at our beautiful receipts. Top Food and Drug. Quality in the bag, savings in the bill.
Try the tasty handmade taco salad packed with the good stuff. One of 4 great salads handmade with a little extra love. Now at Arctic Circle, where the good stuff is.
KNDO has partnered with the American Cancer Society for the 2004 Relay for Life on June 5th and 6th. You can take part in this fun-filled overnight event and help raise money for the fight against cancer. To sign your team up, call 877-861-6687. KNDO Local News. More local news, more often.
A portion of the news is brought to you by your Northwest Dodge dealer.
live from the KNDO night team. This is KNDO Local News 11 at 11.
Welcome back. In depth tonight. You see it everywhere in town, and that is graffiti. It is a constant eyesore that invades neighborhoods and businesses, and it even lowers our property values. Reporter Casey Skinner takes a look at this problem and has more on what's being done about graffiti right here in town.
Some graffiti stays in spots for years. Other graffiti gets put up overnight just as quickly as the walls can get put up.
Isn't Robert cute? I think he's gonna ask me out. Did you know he's one of the guys who tagged the Safeway last Saturday? Really? Really. What a loser.
The city's tried an anti-graffiti video, deployed a full-time graffiti truck, but the graffiti keeps on coming.
We paint and they paint. It feels a little annoying, doesn't it?
There's a war going on between the city's paint and taggers' spray cans.
We've got more paint than the graffiti guys will ever dream about.
But don't these graffiti guys, these kids, don't they have more free time than you guys do?
That's true. That's true. And because of that, we're starting a second crew.
A crew of prison inmates, which along with this new spray van will double the city's graffiti fighting army.
The taxpayers are going to get their money's worth out of it. The inmates are going to have a chance to get out and do a little work for the city of Yakima and do some improvements, get rid of the graffiti.
The move allows the city to now fight graffiti on two fronts. Inmates will spray at the ground level while the graffiti truck uses its ladders to hit the high spots. Still, some property owners say the patchwork is a quick fix.
Yeah, you patch over it and it looks like patchwork. We're drowning under gallons of paint.
And there's still no law requiring hardware stores to lock up paint cans that are routinely stolen.
If we're persistent enough, long enough, and make some unpleasant consequences for them getting caught, that eventually they'll get tired and decide that there's something better to do with their time.
Now, even if a ordinance was passed forcing stores to lock up their spray cans, taggers would still be able to buy spray cans online, complete with special tips for those taggers who need special flair. In Yakima, I'm Casey Skinner for KNDO Local News 11 at 11.
2 inmates will make up the city's new graffiti fighting van. A YPD officer will watch over them. In fact, there's currently a waiting list for inmates to join that new crew. We had plenty of sun out there earlier today, and things should be warming up for us by the end of our work week tomorrow. We're going to show you a look. It's taken earlier from our Northwest Infonet tower cam in Yakima. Your local fast alert weather forecast is coming up next with meteorologist Jason Stiff. And remember, you can check on the weather anytime by calling the KNDO 24-hour fast alert forecast line. It is right there, 225-2388. We'll be right back.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, nice sport. What you watching?
Hooked on movies? Get hooked on Charter. Watch hundreds of movies and great premium channels. And get Charter high-speed internet with speeds up to 100 times faster than dial-up. Sign up for any service and get your second and third months free. Plus, ask about free installation. Go where satellite can't. Call 1-888-GET-CHARTER and get 2 months free.
In recent tests, the all-new Mitsubishi Galant outperformed the Toyota Camry in acceleration and in braking. Now let's see how it stacks up against their free maintenance program. Oh, right. They don't have one. Triple Diamond Days. This month only, get 3 years free scheduled maintenance when you buy an all-new Galant. And before June 1st, lease a Galant for just $239 a month for 36 months. As always, you'll get a 10-year warranty on a car you actually want to drive. Hurry. Mitsubishi's Triple Diamond Days end soon.
The new flamethrower burger at Dairy Queen with crispy jalapeno bacon and Tabasco flavored mayo. Do one carefully and DQ something different. And cool down with a delicious chocolate French silk pie blizzard treat.
You've been hearing about it and waiting for your chance to win. We promised local winners, and we're following through. KNDO and Valley Ford have partnered to give 20 local people home theater systems. That's right, local people get theater systems like this one. Here's the second of tonight's winners. If your name is on the screen right now, call 225-2375 to claim your prize. You only have until the end of KNDO Local News 11 at 11, so don't wait. Be sure to tune in to KNDO Local News 11 at 11 and Wheel of Fortune tomorrow night at 7 when we'll announce 2 more winners. Good luck.
News, weather, and sports online at KNDO.com.
Now your accurate fast alert forecast with meteorologist Jason Stiff, who has earned the American Meteorological Seal of Approval.
Good Thursday evening as we look outside on the Northwest InfoNet Tower Cam. A pretty tranquil evening for us. We have had a few breezes developing in the Yakima and Kittitas valleys. Won't be overly windy. We do have some more clouds in the sky still. And look at what those clouds are doing for us. It's still 62 degrees right now. Had a couple trace amounts of rain around the Kittitas Valley earlier, but most of those showers are going to bed now. The wind north at 13. Barometric pressure 30.06 inches of mercury around the region. You can see what those clouds above us are doing, keeping most areas very mild at this late hour. It's 60 in Portland, 56 degrees in Seattle and Bellingham. Also 56 degrees in Omak, 51 degrees in Wenatchee, and 45. A little bit cooler where it wasn't really that warm today in Pullman. But speaking of cool, look at all this cold air intruding all the way down to northern New Mexico. Right now it's 39 in Denver and also in Grand Island and Dodge City. When you get a little bit farther east, much more warmth and much more moisture in the air, and that has caused a lot of big storms. We'll see that coming up in a second, but you can see what the after effects were. Wichita, Kansas, the highest wind gusts of anyone at 63 miles an hour. Hettinger, North Dakota, had the coldest temperature at 16. All that cold Canadian air coming in from the north. Laredo, Texas, once again, the highest temperature at 96 and highest heat index at 102. And College Station, Texas, the home of the Texas A&M Aggies, over 5 inches of rain today. And you can see, looking at the satellite and radar, it's not too hard to imagine that with all these showers and thunderstorms just exploding over Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, even Missouri. A lot of tornado watch boxes. Fortunately, those have expired. But you can see those yellow boxes down in South Texas. Still more severe thunderstorm watch boxes, too. For us, nothing that severe at all. We have had a few high clouds coming in. A couple showers of rain over the Kittitas Valley, but all of that will be going to bed overnight tonight. We are expecting those clouds to leave at least for a little while, and then we're going to have some more sunshine for Friday. By Saturday, you can't see in the precip cast yet, but we are going to have increasing clouds Saturday, and especially on Sunday, we will have a chance for some more showers. That chance for showers should linger into Monday and Tuesday also. Not a lot of rain in the forecast, but it probably won't be dry days for us either. So overnight tonight, we're going to have lingering clouds, mostly clear by sunrise, with lows that will be cool, just not quite as cool as it was this morning. We'll have a low of 40 in Yakima and Toppenish and 42 in Ellensburg, Sunnyside, and Prosser tomorrow. A nice way to end the week. Low to mid-70s for highs under a mostly sunny sky. Very little wind. And the UV index once again in the moderate category. So wear that sunscreen if you're going to be outside more than about 45 minutes. But as you can see, more clouds are in our future. We're going to have chances for showers Sunday through Tuesday. A little bit of a cool down too. But the temperatures will stay in the ballpark of the normal area. Upper 60s and lower 70s with lows in the 40s. That's your Fast Alert forecast for this Thursday. Have a great night.
Thanks a lot, Jason. Derek's joining us now. The East Valley soccer team is pretty impressive.
Darn impressive. They are still undefeated on the season after another big win today. We'll have those highlights. Plus the Mariners, well, they're not undefeated. They're far from it, as a matter of fact. More on their woes in Minnesota coming up next.
Year after year in America, more people choose Ford than any other make of vehicles. They choose the best-selling truck in America 27 years running. They choose the full-size pickup with unsurpassed low-end torque in its class. They choose the only truck that has earned the right to be Motor Trend Magazine's 2004 Truck of the Year. And now you can make the smart choice by leasing a 2004 F-150 STX with V8, CD, and air for only $299 a month. Make the right choice and get to your Northwest Ford store today.
It's Grandma.
Grandma, I can count to 100. See? 1, 1.
Anytime minutes. They sure do come in handy.
Come into U.S. Cellular now and get 1,000 anytime minutes plus unlimited call me minutes, all for just $39.95 a month.
U.S. Cellular. We connect with you.
And add nights and weekends beginning at 7 p.m. for just $4.95 a month.
Being a stay-at-home mom is quite an adventure. It takes every penny we have to make this household run. My family budget is so tight that it's squeaker. Walmart answers all my family's needs. When I find a good bargain, I just want to do that little jig, the mama jig. Because I don't ever have time to sit and cut out coupons, and I don't have to. Walmart helps helps me to be able to spend time with my children because I don't have to run from store to store. I want to go there, get what I need, and come back home. 20 years from now, when they say, Mom, remember when we did that? I'll say, I sure do.
First, fast and factual. Local news, direct from the source. Depend on us. News Radio 1280 KIT, your source for the most accurate weather. Depend on us. News Radio 1280 KIT, your favorite teams, your favorite stations. Depend on us. News Radio 1280 KIT.
Experience firsthand why University Auto Center has been voted the #1 new car and truck dealership in Kittitas County for the past 4 years. University Auto Center has 9 franchises on their new 10-acre dealership where you'll find generous trade-in allowances, volume discount pricing, factory incentives, and low-pressure sales. Stop by University Auto Center today and discover their secret to customer satisfaction.
A portion of the news is brought to you by U.S. Cellular.
Time to talk sports. The East Valley boys soccer team won it all in 2001, and the Red Devils look poised for another run at the 2A state title. EV was still undefeated coming into tonight's district semifinal showdown with the Wahluke Warriors. Nino Cardenas was awarded a penalty kick for being taken down in the box, but Nino gets stoned by the Wahluke goalkeeper to leave it scoreless midway through the first half. But off the free kick in the 27th minute, it's Jordan Trout with a perfect placement into the upper right corner. I mean, that is just pretty. The Red Devils go on to win it 2-0. They'll face Connell in the championship game on Saturday. The Highland Scotties kept their season alive by shutting out the Quincy Jackrabbits on the road 4-0. They'll play for the 5th seed to state on Saturday. With the Montana basketball coach Pat Kennedy leaving the program, West Valley senior Andrew Strait could choose to be released from his letter of intent, but the university hired former NBA star and Montana alum Larry Krystowiak as its new head coach today. He coached CVA's Idaho Stampede this winter. Strait says he was hoping former Montana assistant Wayne Tinkle would get the job instead, but Mr. West Valley says he'll meet Krystowiak first, then decide if he'll stick with his commitment to the Grizz. Well, the last time the Mariners were swept by the Twins in Minnesota was way back in 1992 when guys like Kirby Puckett and Greg Gagne, were still playing. The M's are hoping to keep the broomsticks in the closet and avoid their 5th straight loss today. Ryan Franklin pitched well for the M's, but in the second, Michael Kadire drives one off the baggie in right center field. Lou Ford crosses the plate to make it 1-0 Twins early. Dan Wilson thought he had the equalizer in the 7th, but Gold Glover Torrey Hunter makes a brilliant throw home, and Scott Spezio, well, he's meat at the dish. Still 1-0 Twins with the bases full of Mariners in the 8th when J.C. Romero blows the high cheese right by Spezio to end the threat. And the Mariners lose all 3 ball games by a single run. 1-0 as the final as Doug Mentkevich makes a nice catch to end the game. The M's will be at Yankee Stadium tomorrow. That leads us into this week's KNDO.com sports poll. Which former Mariner do you miss the most? I wish we could have all 5 of these guys on the team right now. And so far, Sweet Lou has the most votes, while A-Rod and Randy still have none. The Los Angeles Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs may very well be playing for the NBA title right now in the Western Conference semis. And Game 5 tonight in the River City will go down as an instant classic. Late in the 4th, Kobe Bryant comes off the screen and nails the jumper to put the Lakers up 1 with 11 seconds left. Then, with Shaq draped all over him, Tim Duncan somehow has his prayer answered with 0.4 seconds to go, and the Spurs thought this one was all over. But watch this. Derek Fisher, who wasn't even supposed to get the ball, buries the desperation shot at the buzzer. The Lakers win a thriller 74-73 as they take control of the series with a 3-2 lead. The Atlanta Hawks have asked Sonics for permission to talk to associate head coach Dwayne Casey about their vacant coaching position. Casey has drawn interest from several other teams in the past. The Hawks just fired Terry Stotts last week, who is also a former assistant coach with the Sonics. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, the San Jose Sharks take a bite out of Calgary 3-0. The Flames still lead the series 2-1, though. And Tampa Bay takes down Philadelphia 4-1. The Lightning are undefeated on the road in the postseason. The Central Washington Wildcats have named their 4 captains for the upcoming football season. For the 2nd straight year, wide receiver Brian Podacek and linebacker Blake Walker will lead the Cats into battle. Offensive lineman Evan Picton and defensive end Jacob Galloway were also named captains today by their peers. What a crazy finish, though, in San Antonio between the Spurs and the Lakers.
That was luck. That was
definitely.
insane.
Well, so was Tim Duncan's shot to put them in the game.
I know. Okay, thanks a lot, Derek. Well, a duck is cracking people up in Union Gap. We're going to show you why coming up next.
In recent tests, the Mitsubishi Endeavor beat the Honda Pilot in accident avoidance. And during May, when you buy a new Endeavor, it comes with 3 years of free scheduled maintenance. The Honda doesn't. But if you already own one, that's okay. We take trade-ins. Triple Diamond Days. Buy an Endeavor before June 1st and get $2,000 factory cash back. You'll also get 3 years free scheduled maintenance. And as always, a 10-year warranty on an SUV you actually want to drive. Hurry, Mitsubishi's Triple Diamond Days end soon.
I'm George W. Bush, and I approve this message.
John Kerry says, a lot of people don't really know who I am. Well, actually, a lot of people do.
Kerry's hometown paper says, in his continuing effort to be all things to all voters, John Kerry is engaging in a level of doublespeak that makes most voters wince.
The Wall Street Journal said Kerry's tax plan would mean increasing the tax burden again, which would likely kill the recovery.
On Iraq, the Washington Post said Kerry's attempts to weave a thread connecting and justifying his positions are unconvincing.
The union leader says Kerry has waffled on historic education reforms he supported in 2001, but now opposes.
And the nonpartisan National Journal magazine ranks Kerry the most liberal member of the Senate, more liberal than Hillary Clinton or Ted Kennedy.
John Kerry's problem is not that people don't know him, it's that people do.
Now's a man who faces any danger, rolling prices back for friend and stranger. He's the rollback man, he's the rollback man. He's changing all those numbers, lower prices are his game.
Our rollback mission, to save you even more. Walmart, always low prices. Always.
It's time to turn it up. Announcing the Lincoln Mercury SUV Drive-Away with just announced savings on all our luxury SUVs. The bold Lincoln Navigator, the midsize Lincoln Aviator, and the versatile Mercury Mountaineer with available no-charge leather seating surfaces. Save on the 2004 Mercury Mountaineer starting at only $25,995 during the SUV Drive-Away. See your Pacific Northwest Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
We began the day today with a lot of sunshine. The clouds started moving into the sky, and it gave us a mostly cloudy evening. Tomorrow, we're expecting more sunshine, too, but less cloud cover in the afternoon. Starting off a little bit cool, 40 degrees for Yakima, 67 by lunchtime, a nice high of 75. More clouds, though, this weekend, and a chance of showers by Sunday, but just enjoy the dry weather on Friday and Saturday.
Thanks, Jason. A local duck makes it home in an unusual place, and it makes our picture of the night. We'll show you this little duck. It can be found to the side of the road in Union Gap, just waddling around. Apparently, the duck has been around for a while. It's become a favorite for many people in the area. And as far as food goes, people at a nearby restaurant keep her tummy full. This mama duck is known for laying eggs in a nest on the other side of the street and then flying back over to the other side of the street for the rest of the day, apparently just chilling
and watching traffic. She's just checking, and she's scoping out the car deals across the street there, too.
Apparently. When I see her, I just go, Aflac, Aflac. Look, that's what she's saying, Aflac.
Nice.
She's a cute little duck, though. You have to check her out if you're... See, right there. That's the perfect Aflac moment. So if you're in Union Gap, make sure to check out our little duck there. Our next local newscast tomorrow morning beginning at 5 a.m.
Join Mike Myriad, Joan Lucas, and meteorologist Jeremy Baker for the latest local news and the forecast. Every 15 minutes on KNDO Local News Northwest Today. It's on from 5 to 7, followed by local updates throughout the NBC Today
Still
show.
thinking of the duck. It's so cute. All right, that does it for us. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Introducing Arby's new Market Fresh salads with tender chicken and lots of surprising ingredients. Try the Martha's Vineyard, the Asian Sesame, and the Santa Fe.
Well, hello. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Recently, Dodge Ram was pitted against 4 different full-size competitors. An independent company ran each through a battery of tests, and every time, the truck that out-towed, out-hauled, and flat-out outperformed the competition was the Hemi-powered Dodge Ram. Kind of makes you realize why Ram commands respect from every driver, especially ones that count on performance.
Sweet.
Qualified buyers who finance through Chrysler Financial get an additional $1,000 for a total combined cash allowance of $4,500 on Ram 1500.
You're watching KNDO Local News.
You're watching NBC, America's late night leader.